How do you keep your uniforms looking professional? That is an excellent question, and we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by mycleaningconnection.com, which is a hub for some really cool cleaning stuff. And on there, there's a section that has a whole bunch of resources for men and women's uniforms and different inexpensive ways that you can upgrade your professional look. mycleaningconnection.com. All right, on to today's show, which is from a house cleaner who has this question.
Hi, Angela. My name is Christine, and I've been watching your show, and I really do love it, by the way. Your segment on what you wear to a job if you're a house cleaner, about your clothing being neat. How do you keep your clothing neat when you use bleach? Because most of my shirts look like crapola, and I can't keep affording to go out and buy new clothes. I'm a fan of bleach. I don't use a lot, but it only takes a day to mess a shirt up. And when you're bending over and doing all kinds of stuff, you just don't realize that you are in the bleach. My pants included, nice big old bleach spot on the back. I would love to hear more on your thoughts.
All right, that question had a lot of bleach thrown in there, but the original question was, how do I keep my uniforms looking professional? So I'm going to answer the bleach question first, and then we'll talk about the uniforms. So the bleach question comes down to, why are you using so much bleach? Oh my gosh, why are you using so much bleach? The bleach has other alternatives. And so if it's mildew or mold or grease or thick gunk that you're trying to dissolve, you may want to consider a degreaser that's more like a dishwashing liquid that's going to be softer, and it's not going to be as caustic or as abrasive as a bleach. Now, bleach, it's very good for what it does, and it's touted as having a multiplicity of sanitary things that it does. That's great. But you have to look at, is it for everyday use? And the answer is no. There are hazardous precautions that you have to take if you're going to work around bleach, because it will damage the inside of your lungs. And I'm not raining dissatisfaction on any of the bleach companies. Bleach is amazing for what it does, but it's not an everyday use thing. All right, having said that, look at what it does to your clothes. If it's ruining your clothes after one day, oh my goodness, what happens if that spills on a customer's carpet? What happens if it leaks for some reason out of your cleaning caddy and you dribble it all along the customer's carpeted floor? Now you got to replace that carpet because there's no way to fix that. And so there are a lot of things that you have to consider when using bleach in a customer's home. And my recommendation is don't, unless you absolutely have to. Okay, now back to the uniforms. The uniforms are part of your brand. And so you're going to take as good of care of your uniforms as you do of your car, as you do of your cleaning supplies, and as you do of your company image. This is part of your image. Every day when you show up, you want to look like $1 million, because you are a sales piece that if you look the same every single day, then your customers will say, wow, I can promote this. I'm not sending somebody that's all covered in bleach over to my neighbor's house because I'm sending somebody that looks like $1 million, right? You make your customers look better when you look nice. And so, it comes down to the basics. You got to shower every single day. You got to do your hair every single day. If you're a female and you wear your makeup every single day. When you wear your clothes, make sure that they are pressed and that they are looking professional. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't press my clothes. To me, that is too high maintenance. So I'm not going to buy fabrics that wrinkle easily, because to me, that's too high maintenance. I want something I can pull out of the washing machine. I can hang it over the banister. When it dries, I put it on and I look like $1 million. So in order to do that, you need wrinkle-free clothing. It's great if it's stain resistant. Stain resistant will not stain resist bleach, but it will resist small minor stains. So if something flicks up there, you get some dirt, you get some grime, you get some grease, it's going to resist that for the most part. And then there's regular care. If you get something on your shirt, this does not go with bleach, okay? Bleach is just in a league of its own. But if you get some gunk on your shirt, you can put a little bit of dishwashing soap on there, or you could put a little bit of vinegar on there, one or the other. You let it soak for a little bit, wash it out, and you're good to go. Okay, so there are things you can do to keep your uniforms looking nice. And my recommendation is that you have seven of every uniform. Because if you have 7 and you're only working 5 days a week, that gives you a uniform for every day without having to do the wash. At the end of the week, you wash them all together and you hang them up to dry, and now you have a new uniform for every day of the week. Halfway through the year, when 1 or 2 of your shirts starts getting grungy, then you go ahead and you toss the other 2 into the mix. And the same goes for pants. Now, if you buy Color Fast clothing, Color Fast may be a brand of somebody's, I don't mean that to say somebody's branded trademark name, but Color Fast, durable coloring, it's not going to fade, it's going to last for a long time is what I mean. So what happens if you buy a Color Fast product, it doesn't matter how many times you wash it, it's going to hold the color, it's not going to fade. So like for the pants that I've been wearing, I'm on my 4th year of those pants, wearing them every day for 4 years, and they're slightly faded, but they still look very professional. The shirts, I'm going on year 2 with the 7 shirts. And I've just added 2 more into the mix because maybe they started looking a little bit grungy, or I got something on there I couldn't get off, or whatever. Because after a while, clothes that you're wearing every single day and you're working in and you're sweating in, they're going to start to take its toll. And when they start looking a little not so professional, that's when you want to get rid of them and get a new shirt. The clothing I buy is not expensive. The shirts are like $15. The pants are a little bit more. They're going to be $20 to $30, but they're going to last for 4 years. So if you're wearing a pair of pants every day for 4 years and you're rotating between 6 or 7 pants, they're going to last you for 4 years. They're going to last you a long time. And because it's a business expense, it's a tax deduction. So any of the money that you spend on uniforms, you're going to tax deduct. And so it's up to you to stand tall and to look professional. You get to every day paint the picture of you. And so as the business owner or as the employee, you get to set the standards for your business. So it's going to be a lot easier to maintain the look of your clothing if you don't use bleach. And so my recommendation to you would be, if you have to use it, then maybe on this day that you have to use it, you wear another apron, one of those big bib aprons that covers the front of your outfit. That you wear a big apron that goes over, and you can actually buy those plastic disposable ones so that if something flicks up on you, it's not going to ruin your clothing. Because the clothing, although it's inexpensive, it's expensive enough that we don't want to replace it every day if you're using bleach and that gets on your clothes. But your image is paramount. It's paramount to your success, because when you feel like $1 million, you act like $1 million. Your work is like $1 million, and you're consistent. It's a consistent product that you're bringing into people's homes. When you bring a top-notch, consistent-looking person into your home to clean every single time, what that tells your customers is this is something I can promote. And then you're working off of referrals for the rest of your career. So you want to talk about marketing, you can save a lot of marketing and advertising money by presenting yourself to the very highest level possible. So I know some people are like, I don't care. You may not. And then you're going to end up spending a fortune in advertising because people can't recommend what they see. So it's just my personal preference. But I've been doing this for years. We've trained companies for years. And this is a system that works for us. Anyway, that is how you keep your uniform looking professional. Alrighty, my 2 cents for today. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.